Rhodes University's Biotechnology Innovation Center is leading new water testing research. The testing facility will benefit Makhanda residents who've been battling shortages for years now. One of the researchers is Dr Nhamo Mutingwende, I beg your pardon, who joins us via our video link this morning. And Doc, it's great to see you. Thanks for making time to speak to us. You know, any research worth its time has core questions that it's hoping to answer. What are some of those in this case?
Thank you so much for this opportunity to share what we're doing in our project. But yes, that's true. Our end in mind as far as this recently launched water testing facility is that we hope to achieve to a level where our communities are actually aware of what's in their water they're drinking, because of recent there has been some concerns, anxieties arising from the community members wanting to know exactly what's in their water they're drinking. And we certainly know that if we do some tests and give them some scientific facts, it's going to bring about restoration in their dignity, but also a peace of mind to know if the water they're drinking is actually potable.
What effort goes into making sure that the water that they do get is also sustainable? Because we know that some of the issues in Makhanda are infrastructural in their nature, and that's why so many people have now relied on stored water supply and natural water supplies.
Yeah, that's very true. We know that from the treatment points where the municipality maybe try to treat the water to try to remove some of these contaminants, between that point to the point in the houses where the water is actually coming out of the tap, there could be a lot of contaminants that can actually get through the distribution system. And you're right when you point out in the infrastructure, we've witnessed for many times now leaks that are associated with the pipes that bring the water to our houses. And so the main role is to make sure that we test this water in the houses. But we have also realized that our people have now resorted to storage tanks due to intermittent water supplies, which is also a case in Makhanda. And we also have some springs, which now people are actually also getting the water from. So we realize there is a great need for us to actually help the communities to test these water resources so that they can actually be secure for them and to know exactly if they actually fit for purpose for whatever reasons they're actually using these water resources. It's
an interesting focus. Are you finding that people respond to the resource when they know what it contains? In other words, if they know that the water, for argument's sake, is safe enough to drink, do you reckon they are less likely to waste it?
That's correct. So part of our project as well is to actually, bring about some, practices which will also help the community members. By the way, this facility is actually as a result of community engagement that we've done for several years, and realizing that there's a need for us to actually set up such a facility like this. So the community themselves are actually involved in the process that we do, and some of the things that we actually also help with is to help educate them with the practices that can actually help to maintain a higher standard of water quality in these resources, but at the same time as well to say how can we use the resources that we have to best suit the conditions that we have. We know Makhanda is actually going through drought as far as water is concerned. So how can we, utilize the water resources that we have without actually wasting them?
In your engagement with these communities, what did you find are some of their questions about the water in that area?
So the main concern really is, sometimes due to, this intermittent water supply, sometimes the water comes maybe brownish, sometimes they complain about the smell that comes out of that. So that has brought about a concern to them, and the anxieties that I've mentioned earlier on, that they feel that water needs to be tested to actually bring assurance to them to say, is this water potable for us to drink? As they are also worried about some health-related concern that might actually arise from that.
Yeah. Are those worries well placed as far as you're concerned? In other words, is there cause for concern?
Well, we have so far looked at some springs which some community members were using. And what we've also discovered when we visited this particular spring was that there was a lot of dumping around, of litter dumping around the springs, and that is also reflected in the quality of those particular springs. So we have advised them to actually make sure that they safeguard those particular springs and avoid the dumping of litter around that, because that could be the source of microbial contaminations as has been reflected from the results. But for some of the water testing in the houses and the community tests, we are proceeding to engage with the sampling, and our main visit is actually starting this particular Wednesday, where we'll be visiting all the communities around Makhanda to collect samples of water and then do the analysis to see how is the status at the current moment.
Yeah, on that note, my understanding is that the facility will also support testing of home water taps. I suppose that comes at a price, doesn't it?
Yes, but at the moment, so this research is actually funded under the NRIF grant, for which the principal investigator, which is Prof. Janice Limson, is the Sacha Chair for Biotechnology Innovation and Community Engagement. So for the communities at the moment, we're actually analyzing their water samples for free, except for the established businesses which are actually around town, and also schools who might be interested to test their storage water as well as the tap water. That's where we actually charge a very small fee, so as to sustain, the running of the facility.
Yeah, there's a very clear connection to why a facility like this would be necessary for now. There are very obvious challenges that you're hoping to solve, but hopefully, in an ideal world, we'll be able to overcome some of those challenges, and it raises questions about the sustainability of the facility itself.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So what we're also trying to, as we work with the community, is to say, how can we bring about sustainability in the project itself? But at the end of the day, we are a biotechnology innovation center. We want to come up with a product that can actually help the communities to, test these samples in real time with small instruments that they can actually use in their homes and test these their water sources and see the status. So we're actually going there. But at the moment, we believe that the water quality testing facility is the first step moving towards that, as we continue to engage with the community. But at the same time, we also have to make sure that the facility itself is sustained and it doesn't stop at the end of this project, which is targeted to the end of this year. But beyond this, to make it equitable and accessible to everyone. And in that regard, we've actually managed to engage with PISM, which is an organization here at Rhodes University that actually works with different community members for accountability action. And so this has helped us to actually reach out a wider community, so that they can be able to bring their samples and get them for testing.
Interesting stuff. Dr. Nhamo Mutingwende, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Really appreciate your time. Dr. Mutingwende is one of the researchers for the newly founded Rhodes University Biotechnology Innovation Center. Once again, thanks very much indeed.